Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm just hanging out in my truck on lunch break as usual. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully you find what I do here informational, educational, entertaining, one or all three of the above, or two of the above, or whatever. Hopefully not none of the above. But if that's the case, you know, such is life. You can't please everybody. If you are a subscriber or returning to the channel, welcome back. I appreciate you taking your time to check out my channel again and check out my videos. Basically just going to do a quick video today. I have, side note here, I finally got my hands on a tester laptop. So I'm going to start doing some longer term distro reviews and window manager reviews and stuff like that I can actually do on a different machine instead of screwing with my everyday working machine, and that way I can get a little more of those in on my channel too. So just a heads up, in the future we got some longer term distro reviews and window manager reviews and different program reviews coming, because I can use a different computer. Anyway, that being said, today's video is just going to be kind of a touch-up on the video I released on Friday about the ToDo app that I scripted. Now, that wasn't a real popular video, I know, so doing a second video on it probably doesn't seem like it's the wisest thing, but I just want you guys to know, when you guys make comments on my videos, I pay attention, I read them, I understand that you guys you know, you have things to say about this stuff, and I want you to know I'm paying attention, I'm listening to you guys, and I appreciate your comments. Well, I had a few comments on this saying, you know, they liked the app, but the fact that it, you know, didn't have this feature or that feature, you know, kind of keeps them from saying they would switch to it, which is fine. I didn't create this app to say, hey, you should switch to my ToDo app. But that being said, I listened to your comment, and I thought, I wonder if there is a way that I can kind of work some features into it that would make it more beneficial to more people, as opposed to just me. I just needed something that I could keep on my local machine and I could check my appointments with. But that just kind of got the ball rolling, and I actually spent pretty much the whole weekend when I was on my computer, not the whole weekend in whole, but anytime I got sat down on my computer or something, or if I was working on something, it was most likely this app. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've done. Basically, I've assigned some variables here now in the app. Before, it was just, hey, input some information, a date, time, and an appointment, and if we have a file created, we'll amend it. If we don't have a file, we'll create that file and then amend it, and that was pretty much it. So it was real simple. It was only about 10-15 lines, something like that. It wasn't anything real big, and it's not real huge right now. It's probably about 130 or 140 lines right now. But I did create a little bit more functionality in it. Still not too crazy, because I'm kind of a simpler is better type of person, but it does meet a few more of the needs that I think other people might like. So basically, we've got some variables here. I won't go into them too deep. We've just got a day and a to address and a subject, a body, file, and time. And so basically, I'll just kind of walk through here. I have this set up to where it will run first thing in the morning. So right here, it says if the time is equal to 8 o'clock, and the file, which is declared up here, which is a file for the day that is created in my ToDo app. So like today is the 23rd. My day, I have it set to print out 2 days from now. So basically, if this file for 2 days from now, if I have appointments scheduled on the 25th, because today's the 23rd, so if I have appointments scheduled on the 25th, so if the time is 8 o'clock and I have a file created for the 25th, or 2 days from the current date, then it's going to echo the body, which is that file. It's going to cat that file, and it's going to pipe it into Neomut, which is my terminal web email client. Terminal email client. Gosh, I can't think today. And then it's going to amend a subject to it, which the subject is always just going to say appointment. And then the to address is my email address. And then it's also going to curl xpost https textbelt.com, and right here is normally my phone number. I X that out because I don't need you guys knowing my phone number. Not that I think any of you'd kind of try to contact me or anything, but no need to put my phone number out there in the ether. And then you got some data information here, and then it prints out the body. Again, the body is just catting out that file. And then it's text belt. So basically what this first block of code does here, this first block of script, is if the time is currently 8 o'clock in the morning and the certain file exists, then it sends me an email with that file catted out with all the appointments for that day. And then it also sends me a text message for that. So that way I can load those appointments onto my phone calendar, and then I have a copy of it on my email. So if I have an email calendar like Google, I can quick load those onto my Google Calendar. You have to manually do that. I can't figure out how to have it specifically just grab it and do it, but basically, again, it'll check the time first thing in the morning. It sends me a quick email for any appointments I might have for the days coming up, and then it also sends me a text message for those appointments coming up as well. So if it is not 8 o'clock, or if the file doesn't exist, then it just goes straight into the script. Doesn't try to email me or text me anything. It just ignores that and comes down here. And then we have a excuse me. A while loop that says basically if command v figlet, because I do run figlet in this script, and this right here basically just takes and looks to see if figlet is on the machine. If figlet's not on the machine, or if figlet is on the machine, it breaks out of the while loop. If it's not on the machine, then it checks to see if you're running Pacman or if you're running apt, so that way it knows if you have a Arch-based system or a Debian-based system. It figures out which one of those it is, and then it will install figlet for you. Once it installs figlet, it will break out of the loop. But if you don't have an Arch base or a Debian base, if you're running like OpenSUSE or something like that, then it's going to just print out, please install figlet, and it's going to exit out of the script. But once it breaks out of the script, if it installed figlet or already had figlet installed, then it's going to finish that while loop. It's going to clear the screen because you're going to have some output from the excuse me, from the install of from your package manager. But then it's going to run figlet, and it's going to give you a heading and a description of what the application is, and then it's going to tell you I created it. You know, I know that's not quite necessary, but I figured why not. Then it's going to give you a little bit of space. It's going to create a new line, and it's going to run into another while statement or while loop, and it's going to ask you for a selection. You can either add a selection or add an entry, or you can view what you already have, or you can exit. Then it's going to, this \n is for a new line, so it's going to create a new line, and down below that it's going to give you the colon, and it's going to ask for your answer. Once you give it an answer, it's going to take that answer, and it's going to check to see if the answer is A. If that answer is A for add, then it's going to run through some prompts for a date, for a time, and for an entry. So once you put your date, your time, and your entry in, it's going to check to see if those certain files exist for that date. So if the file for the date you just entered does exist, then it's going to printf all that information you just put in, the entry and the time and everything, and it's going to amend it to the end of that file. And then it's going to vim into that so you can take a look at it and make sure everything's okay and you didn't have any typos or you got your time correct and all that. And you can make any changes there if you need to. If you do not have that file already made, it is going to create that file, and then it's going to run figlet and put a header on that file for the date, and then it is going to amend what you just put in there into that file. Just like this one. So down here, this is if the file's already created, it's just going to put your information in it. This is if the file isn't created, it's going to create it, dress it up, and then put your information in it, and then open it so you can edit any possible typos or anything like that. Then, if your selection was V to view, basically it's going to ask you to, it's going to create a new line, and then it's going to ask you to type in date or all. And then it's going to ask you for your choice. If your choice is all, it's basically going to open the directory that has every single file for every single date, so you can choose which date or dates you want to look at. But if your choice is date, it's going to ask you for which specific date you want to look at. It's going to tell you what format it needs that date in. It's going to put a new line, and then it's going to wait for your input here. Once you put your input in, it's going to take that date, and it's going to open up that specific file. And then, of course, if your answer was E for exit, it's going to exit the script. And if your answer was unknown, it's going to print off, please make the proper selection. And then this is all put in a while loop, so it's going to, hasn't broke out of the loop yet, so it will loop you back to the top to have you input the correct information. Then, once you're done with all that, if you made an entry or you looked at whatever and you're exiting out of stuff, since you're still in the loop, it's going to ask you the question, would you like to add or view another entry? Your two selections here are yes or no. then it'll wait for your decision. If your decision is yes, it's going to printf great, and it's going to loop you back around to the beginning. And if your answer is no, then it's going to exit out of the script and you are done. So again, pretty simple. I just added a little bit of dressing up to it and a few more options, but then also the functionality to email you your schedule for certain days and to text you that as well. Now, that being said, there are some dependencies you'll need for this script to actually run. Boy, sorry, my throat's a little dry today. Basically, you're going to need Figlet, like I said, but it's going to go ahead and already install Figlet. I couldn't have it automatically install NeoMut for you because you have to set NeoMut up with your personal email stuff. So you will have to have NeoMut installed and set up for this to work. But that being said, I believe that's it. This curl xpost, textbelt.com/text. This is a program that allows you to text from the command line to a phone number. That being said, it's a paid program. There is a free open source version of it. I just found that out and I haven't figured out how to set it up yet, but there is an open source version of it. You have to set up your own server and stuff, but you can go that route, or this one allows, even though it's a paid system, it allows one free text daily. So since I have this set up to send me one text first thing in the morning, that's really all I need it to do. So again, I've got some variables up here. It's going to run first thing in the morning and check for a certain time and a certain file. If those exist, it's going to send me an email and a text, and then it's going to go and it's going to close out the script. If neither one of those do exist, that means I'm trying to run the script, and it's going to go through the install of Figlet if I need it to. It's going to print out the header. It's going to ask me what I want to do, whether I want to add, view, or exit. If I want to add, it's going to ask me for all the information, and it's going to either amend or create that file. If I want to view, it's going to either show me everything and I can select which file I want to view, or it'll let me view the exact file I want to view by typing in the date. And it's all in the loop, so it will keep going until I tell it to exit. So yeah, that being said, it's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and I will go over here and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. I can't show you the email and text portion of it because, well, I have it set up for a certain time and you can't see my text and email anyway, so and I'm not going to show them to you, but you can take my word for it that it does work. You just have to, like I said, you have to set up NeoMut for your specific email. But let's do Control T here, or Alt T, excuse me, and you can see I've got a nice header there. Let's zoom in. We got a nice header to do a simple terminal appointment organizer. We have our options here. We want to add, view, or exit. So if we say we add a date format, let's do November 30. What time? We'll do 0300 p.m. because that's the format it wants it in. And then this is a test. And now you can see it opens it up. We've got November 30th. We've got November 30th at 3 p.m. This is a test. So we're good there. So we write and quit. Would you like to add or view another entry? Yeah. Let's go ahead and view. Let's do all. So now we can go through here and we can select what day we want. You can see we selected November 25th, and there we go. There's my appointments for November 25th. So let's write and quit out of there. Would you like to make another selection? Let's do yes again. And we'll do exit. And that's that. So basically real simple. I can show you again here if we go into Ranger real quick and I go to .local projects to do, you can see there's my dates right there. So that's all it does, is it stores them as files here, and then it asks me if it's already created, it won't create another one. It will just amend to this file if I add something else. But if it's not created, it creates it. When I want it to run, say today is the 23rd, the email it sends me basically looks for the file that's 2 days out, so that way I can get a heads up and it's not sending me the email for appointments the same day, you know, like last minute, oh shoot, I've got an appointment now, but it's sending me an email reminder 2 days before my appointments are coming up, so that way I can verify that I've got everything on the schedule and I've got everything set up. But yeah, that's that. I hope you guys found this interesting, and if you did, great. If not, that's alright too. But maybe you can get a little bit of use out of this, maybe you can't. But again, I appreciate you guys coming and checking out my channel and checking out what I got going on. You guys have a great rest of your week, and if I don't get another video out before then, have a happy Thanksgiving if you're in the United States. Don't eat too much turkey. That tryptophan's a killer. So, all right, you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless.